Hello, hey guys. Um, Live now? Well, live-ish. We have a 15 minutes delay. So when you're hearing this, when you're listening to this, I'll be already 10 minutes on in the match because I'm starting in 5. Match is starting in 5 minutes, but for you, it's starting in 15, in 20. 5 plus the delay. Um, anyway, of course, the delay is to prevent any kind of cheating or cheating suspicion, because anything you tell me in the chat, it's going to be too late. And the same goes for my opponent if he intends to watch my stream or something. Okay. So, oh, I found a mouse. Okay. Yeah, ready to play. So this is round 4. These are the pairings. What technically is called board 1, which is the top 2 players right now are Root and me. I think also Sycorax. Was on 4 out of 4, so now he's going to be sorry, on 3 out of 3 out of 3. Yeah, this is round 4. I sent a wrong message when I announced this. I said we were on 4 out of 4. No, we were on 3 out of 3. Anyway, yeah, Sycorax won, and he was indeed on 3 out of 3. So I guess whoever wins today, if one of us win, will join Sycorax there and play Sycorax on the next round. That's how the Swiss pairing works. Yeah. And I'm white. I play with the white pieces. That's relevant because this is chess 960. And of course, there's no opening theory. I'd rather play black. I mean, I think I do better as black. In fact, on this league, I played 3 rounds. The one I got white, and I'm confused because I'm not 100% sure, but I think the one I got white is the one I played the worst. Wasn't it? Now I remember. Actually, it wasn't that bad, right? Yeah, the worst one was with black on round 1. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think the color makes a big deal in chess 960 anyway. But I don't know how many seconds do you have for the first move, and I usually uh, blitz out the first move when I'm white. When I'm white, I'm like, okay, let's play it. I have to play. Let's play. Um, and when I'm black, I know I can default to copying my opponent, at least on move 1, and then I know I have the 20 plus 20. By the way, that's the time control. 20 plus 20. That is 20 minutes per player, plus we get 20 extra seconds per move every time we make a move. That means that game should last somewhere around, I don't know, between 40 minutes and 1 hour. That's what we can expect. Sometimes, the players play faster. Sometimes the games are longer. With increments, yeah, if you play a 150 moves game, well, it will take longer than if you play a 30 moves standard kind of game. Anyway, 2 minutes to start. Let's see my opponent's profile on Lichess. So I can send him a challenge. It's 20 plus 20. I am white and it's 960. So I'm ready to send the challenge. This is root. He's got a good bullet. That's relevant. His best rating. It's probably my best rating too. So that's funny. We're both probably fast players. Yeah, bullet and classical are my top ratings. But yeah, definitely I have better bullet than blitz and rapid, and so does my opponent. So it's gonna be interesting. What if we both blitz out all the moves and we end up with 40 minutes on the clocks? Anyway, so this is my opponent, and 1 minute to start. What else should I check? Oh yeah, I should check that my layout is correct. Yeah, I think it is, right? Let me. It's actually not correct. I mean, you can see it, but it's not. It's not best, right? Because you cannot see my clock. Okay, so let's do it like this. Now it's perfect, I would say. Okay, maybe perfect is. Now it's perfect. Perfect was an overstatement there. Okay, and now the camera, and now it's time. It's time to play, so I'm gonna send the challenge to my opponent. Challenge 20 plus 20, chess960 rated, and I'm white. Perfect. Let's go. Opponent already took the challenge. Hi, you too. And we have this position. Everything is normal except maybe the knight on a1. So probably we'll go for short castle. I think e4 makes sense, especially because we have heavy pieces on the center of the board. Need to keep an eye on that pawn, but you always have an eye there. So I think the main struggle is going to be for both sides to try and develop these knights. Or I mean, not struggle, but to decide where they should go, how to do it. If we want to play with, let's say, b4 or b4 and then knight b3, or if you want to play with knight b3 blocking the b pawn, or if you want to develop the knight on c2, c7. Yeah, we'll see. I don't think there's a countdown for the first move. There is definitely a countdown timer on arenas, I'm pretty sure. And I know it's higher for chess960 than for standard chess, but yeah, maybe there's no counter here. Yeah, he's thinking for a while. Okay, so we go with some sort of symmetry, and it's almost like we already castled, having this rook on e1. I don't think I will castle long, but it's also possible, really. This is very interesting starting position. Feels like d4 is playable, especially. But this knight c6 hits the queen also, defending with tempo. So I'm not a fan of d4, and in fact, if my opponent goes d5, I'll take it. Not necessarily a fan. Maybe I go c3, but then d5 makes sense. Yeah, so c3 makes no sense to me. Now, there's some funny ideas like a3. There's something connected to f7 as well, like bishop c4 and some queen f3 ideas. But of course, my opponent will have the same. So yeah, I'm not sure. I kind of like a3, which is sort of a strange move. So let's do it because it's strange. But yeah, the plan is, well, first of all, I'm not playing c3 because I want to meet d5 with takes on knight c3. But I'm preparing this bishop to come to this diagonal, which I could have done in one move, of course. I didn't have to play a3. And a3 is suggesting that I may want to play b4 in the future. So it's suggesting I'm going to fight against the normal developing squares of this bishop. And at least try to create some kind of imbalance where I'm going to have one idea and you're going to have to find a different idea. I'm trying that, but of course my opponent could still copy me. But I don't think a3 is a move you want to copy. A3 seems like a bad move. So I'm counting on my opponent trying to find something better than a6 here, right? We'll see. Okay, so he goes for that. I think I can safely take and go knight c3. I don't see. I don't think I'm hanging anything. Well, if my opponent takes, of course, there's always the chance that he doesn't take back and plays like c6 or something like that. I wouldn't be super impressed with that, but it can happen. Okay, let's do it. And okay, the queen went away. Should I put the bishop on c4? I think so. There's bishop e6. My opponent can try bishop e6. And I can't take on e5 if I do that. So still undecided about what to do with the knight on a1. I can go b4 now, which would be funny. If the knight ever goes to b3, then the bishop is not that great on c4. I don't know. Can I play bishop e5, but bishop e7? Bishop e5, bishop d7, d4. I'm not a fan. Bishop e5, bishop d7, d4, bishop takes b5, knight takes b5, c6. Oh, I just recalled that pawn. Yeah, it's knight b5 also here as an idea. I kind of want to play b4, really. I really want to play b4. I don't know why. So let's do it. I want to do it, so let's do it. It feels suspicious. It feels I'm doing something suspicious, but at least it's consistent. My with my previous play. Sorry. So now I'll be happy to play knight b3 eventually. Um, will I want to play with d4? Probably I will want to play with d3 now that I did what I did. The pawn is ready to hit a knight on c6 with b5, but right now black has the full control of the d4 square, so that's sort of a problem. I may need to eventually move the knight from c3 to be able to play c3 myself. Oh, g6. Oh, that's interesting, because I was hinting at using this long diagonal, and my opponent is trying to do the same, which makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. So now bishop c4, bishop e6. I'm always with that idea. Bishop c4, bishop e6. Take. Don't see anything clear. But if I don't go bishop c4, what am I doing with my pieces? Knight b5. I guess there's a6 simple or knight c6. Yeah, so I guess I either play bishop e2 or knight b3. I guess knight b3 makes sense, right? Knight b3, knight b3, knight b3. because I'm still not a fan of bishop c4, bishop c4, bishop e6, and I don't even have control of the d5 square. Although if bishop goes to e6, b7 is undefended, so I can go some queen f3. Eventually, I mean, my bishop is hanging on c4 at that point, but take queen f3, knight c6, knight c6. I have b5. But yeah, targeting b7 is not a. I'm gonna play knight b3. I'm spending a lot of time. Let's play normal moves that also sort of proof. Go with the logic of the game, which is bringing the knights out. um, and now I guess bishop b2 makes sense. I'm gonna just bring pieces out. That's my opponent castles, which makes a lot of sense. And I need to put this bishop somewhere. I can do the same my opponent did, because now the bishop is not gonna be so happy on c4, I think. Um, or maybe I could. Um, Maybe I could play bishop e2 to f3. It seems as I gave space to my opponent that I shouldn't have. Yeah, it feels I'm doing something wrong. I like my knight on b3 with the pawn on b4. That's what I like about my position, but I don't like anything else. Like knight a5, nah, knight c5, preparing d4, not so simple. Can I go for long castle though? Oh, that would be funny, but I don't know how to achieve it right now. Yeah, it would take some work. It would definitely take some work. I can go bishop b5 to make my opponent decide whether to trade light square bishops, which may actually be, because right now I have a problem with the bishop on f1. I can't. I don't fancy the idea of putting it on c4 anymore. On d3 is ugly and f5 will happen. On e2 is so slow and f5 will happen. and so bishop e5. So if my opponent plays c6, at least that's a concession in terms of the knight will not go to c6. I like bishop e5. Yeah, let's do that and see how my opponent breathes. Hey, Plushak, I see you're in the chat right now. Um, just friendly reminder, there's a delay here, so I'll keep an eye on the chat, but it's not going to be in real time, the interaction, and also feel free to comment on the position, because I don't think either player will spend more than 15 minutes on a move in a 20 plus 20 game. So what if my opponent plays like rook e7? Then I would consider queen e2 and castle long. I don't think it. No, but if bishop d7, for example, I can trade and queen e2, and then I make castle long. It feels like my rook on. Yeah. Should I go for that? It feels like my rook is great on e1, but it's also going to be nice on d1. Queen on e2 can be hit with knight c6, knight d4. That's a concern. If I play queen e2 right now, then c6 may be a concern. Although I have bishop d3. Hello, Metal Eagle. Queen e2, c6, bishop d3. And also knight c5 is going to come with tempo. Knight c5 is going to come with tempo to those guys over there. So I could even move the bishop away. But no, I like the idea of queen e2. Queen e2. So I'm ready to castle long, which is funny, so I have to. And if bishop takes, I'll take with the knight, winning a tempo against a7 probably, although a6, knight back to c3. Or I can take with the queen, winning a tempo on b7, and see how my opponent... Yeah, because it's not that easy to protect, maybe. And if my opponent, let's say, goes knight c6 here, I may just castle long and need to keep an eye on knight d4 and see what to do against knight d4, which I assume is going to be knight takes knight, pawn takes, and I may be in trouble there, so maybe I can't castle long. Darn it. Maybe knight c6 prevents castling long. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Hmm. Yeah, knight c6 was played, and I don't think I can castle long now. Well, I have bishop takes c6, but then I have to defend g2 in order to castle long, I mean. Yeah, knight d4 is really annoying. I may have to take, bishop takes, let's say knight a5, with g2s to defend it. And actually, yeah, I like that idea. It's Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. My opponent still has the knight on a8, so I would really love to see. Well, b takes can happen. I would really love to see eventually some b6 or something like that. But for now, I'm doing, I think, quite well. My opponent may play queen d7 here because I don't see how he defends um, b7 and the bishop. Yeah, I like this knight f5 idea. And still, I'm still considering to maybe castle long. I think it's fun. So what else do we have here? There's some b5 ideas as well. That would justify my a3 b4. What would be incredibly funny would be to castle long after playing a3 b4 and having the rook on this semi-open file. It would be like, oh, bishop d5. Can't I just take it? So my my spidey senses tingling because g2 is defended, and I love endgames. So oops, takes queen c4 is like you know asking to be played, for an endgame, and then b7 is hanging. So I would still have some uh, some initiative there, but there must be something better. Well, knight takes bishop seems like the incredibly logical move to play now. I can castle long too. The thing is, bishop e6 is not playable. Bishop e6 is not playable because it hangs this, and I want to invite to b6. So, strategically speaking, long castle is possible. Again, super risky. And if bishop e6, sorry, if b6, I would be so happy about the knight. The problem is, where do I put this one? I probably have to take on d5 at that point. Let's say long castle b6, knight takes d5 seems forced, I think, so my knight can retreat. And so, I mean, it's not that bad, right, for me. Should I go for that? It's super crazy. Oh no, I hang g2 if I castle long here. I'm hanging g2. Yeah, and that seems like too much. Huh. Okay, so I feel like I should take this one, and so my knight is better. G2 is still defended, so I can consider queen e4, queen c4, or I can, let's say, play c4 and say, okay, I'm gonna grab all the space. You're gonna have a hard time defending b7 actually. Wait a second. Is this just winning a pawn? And now I'm gonna totally castle short here, right? So yeah, let's play that. It feels like I'm winning this pawn, and that brings me joy. I'm a pawn grabber, so that brings me a lot of joy actually. Yeah. And I have more or less everything defended. I need to keep an eye on any tricks, I suppose. On I don't know what can you do here because the knight controls c5, so there are no tricks connected to queen d7 and push the c pawn. Tricks against this knight, I mean, on b7. So queen d7 played. I'm gonna just take it. Yeah. And if queen c6, I can go back. A pawn is a pawn. And knight b6 played. Okay. Knight b6 comes without a threat, as far as I can tell. But it's building some pressure on c4. So I have like two options. Get out of there and prevent queen e6, because knight c5 prevents queen e6. I don't see other moves for this queen to attack that pawn, or to target that pawn, because g4 is controlled by my queen. So that's option one. Option two is castle already. And then, with my being already castled, if queen e6, for example, I can just support that with the rook. Or I think all the options are super healthy here. Feels like the knight is not in trouble because there's knight c5 always. There's absolutely no way to prevent knight c5, right? My opponent may be ready to play knight a4. Maybe that's the idea of knight there. I think I have bishop a1, and everything is fine. No way to target a3 really. So yeah, I think I'm gonna proceed to castle, and that way, if rook b8 or anything that targets this knight, I always have knight c5. So it's looking good to me. Looking good to me. Yeah. I had a bit of a headache this morning, right before the match, but I did some doping here. I got a Tylenol, and it's working now. That's good. A pawn is a pawn. I think the coffee gives me a headache. Probably on an empty stomach. Okay. So, here we are. If my opponent plays f5, then I would be incredibly happy. Eplushak redeemed, shout out. We have a quote there. Okay. He's trying all the commands. Okay. You have fun with that, Eplushak. Teach run rules. Yeah. Actually, the knight on b7 is funny because Go Pepe says King e2. The knight on b7 is super funny because it's one of the worst squares on the board for a knight, right? b2, g2, g7, b2, b7 are like the worst squares for a knight, regardless of the color of the knight. But it's preventing both pawn breaks my opponent has on the queen side. So Yeah, I guess if any pawn break, you could try rook b8, let's say, or c6, and once the knight moves, in this case with tempo, but later on you can go for the other pawn break. So something like rook b8, knight c5, queen c6, let's say, something that keeps my knight attacked. So then the a4, sorry, the a5 pawn break uh, could actually be effective. And I think that's probably a good plan for black because you have to get rid of, you have isolated pawns against perfect pawn formation here. It's not just about being a pawn down, it's also the quality of those pawns. So I think achieving a5, a takes b4 would be a tiny improvement for black. So yeah, if I was black, I would consider something along those lines. You can do c6. You don't have to put the rook on b8. I don't know if the rook on b8 is good or bad, but it actually makes sense in such line we were talking about, because then you're going to create a weakness on b4. Then the rook is already on b8. I think it would make sense. Yeah, it would make sense to me. And in general, that's my queen f5. I don't get it at all. I'm trying to understand what the move. Oh, queen c2? No. What? I think it's trying to come here. Connected with some knight e4 maybe later on. And it is true that queen in c2 puts pressure here and there. And bishop c3 would defend it, but then knight e4. So yeah, I guess that's the idea. But I can play rook c1. I mean, the most natural move. One of the most natural moves I had already. I think it's perfectly working here. Rook c1. And if knight e4, I still can go bishop a1. Unless I'm missing something about this knight. You always have to consider when you have an undefended piece. When you have an undefended piece, you need to keep an eye on that. Hey, Cross Online dropping in to say good luck. Thank you. At this point, you're already watching the match, but it's been 15 minutes since. So I guess we're still in the opening. Like right now, I'm on move 15. You're probably watching the position after move 5 or so. Anyway, um, yeah, should I start bringing my knight? I feel that's this kind of position, especially with the knight undefended. It's sometimes good idea to start bringing the knight. Also, knight c5 prevents a knight a4. Well, not saying it was a concern, but and then queen c2, bishop c3. There's no knight a4. So if I go knight c5 and queen c2 happens, and I play bishop c3, I may have more moves, but bishop c3 seems like the most. Or I have d3 maybe. Knight c5, queen c2, d3. I really like that one because I love, and I'm preventing knight a4. So even after the queen trade, I'm not concerned about. I'm not concerned about knight a4, and also d3 is defended by my knight. Very good knight, and e4 is under control. I actually like that line. So knight c5 already bringing the knight, and not only prevents knight a4, but also if this knight ever moves, there's some knight d7. Like the knight can't move basically because knight d7 would trap the rook. That rook is trapped right now. So the knight is good on c5, and if queen c2, just d3. Right? I like that. I'm gonna start playing moves faster because, and now the knight is defended, which. Oh, sorry. One sec. Yeah, okay. That's the alarm for the laundry, but I can do later. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm more comfortable having my pieces defended. So yeah, and I think, well, maybe there was another idea. Maybe it wasn't Queen C2 the idea, but that's the only one I can see. Other than that, I don't understand this queen here. It's giving room for the rooks, maybe for the d file, but it felt like the queen was doing more um, on d7, and maybe e4 I trade bishops. Yeah. Hmm. So yeah, the queen from here can still attack or target the knight to, let's say, make a case for the a5 break. But if you go e4, I trade bishops, and then maybe I can play a4 myself. I guess not, right? E4 takes, and probably d3 there anyway. No, d3. Yeah, d3. Yeah, d3. No, c4 hangs in the end. Mm. So, but also with the knight here, I can even consider moves like queen e4, queen d3 if I need them. Right now they would hang this pawn in the end, but it is possible. Alternative, I can also, no, never mind. Now I was considering knight jumps, where then I would have c5. But if I jump with the knight, then suddenly that knight on b6 has life. So maybe I just end up playing with d3 anyway. Yeah, I feel like d3 is my follow-up against pretty much anything except e4. And I would love to play a4, a5 if I'm allowed, but I'm not going to be allowed. Well, certainly not in the e4 line. Maybe in other lines I'm allowed to do that. That would be, I mean, that would be, it's 3 moves in a row if I'm given them. But for example, h5 doesn't do anything about that. So a4, a5, knight. Oh no, the queen is still controlling d7. Never mind. Okay, maybe I should uh, keep it simpler and start thinking about normal moves instead. But d3 is super logical. Defense, control of e4, and everything's super under control. h5 is going nowhere. I mean, h5 is a move, I guess, but it's not creating any threats. So let's just put d3 on the board, and many things should happen for me to be able to prepare a4, a5, and still have a threat. So I'm considering maybe, well, queen c2 is not necessary. But now that c4 is defended, by the way, now I can jump with the knight. Now I'm fine with jumping and then c5. Um, but maybe, yes, maybe I control a4 first. I don't know, the position looks so good, but uh, I don't need to get it. I don't want to get it sharp because I'm a pawn up and things are under control. But it feels like my position is good and I should be trying to do something. Probably think about this rook and where to put this rook. And for that, I may need my queen on f2, on c2, or I may need to go for a queen trade. On f3 seems rather stupid, but oh, the Bundesliga is starting also. It starts 1 second. It's starting in half an hour. Maybe I get there in time. 1 second. Yeah, I think it starts in half an hour probably. 26 minutes. Good. Maybe I'm in time to play after this game. All right. Rook e7. So, what do we do? Um, Now the rook is undefended, so I can go d4 now. After after d3, rook e7, d4. It feels wrong, but it's an idea. It feels really wrong. I'd rather keep my position. Again, let's not go for sharp stuff, or f4 too. Let's not go for sharp stuff. Let's try to find a way to bring this guy out. So I'm thinking queen c2. I'm thinking queen c2, rook f e8, rook e2, something along those lines. And um, another idea could be to move the knight to then push c5. I have a challenge. No, no challenges. Sorry, I'm playing much. But I'm not comfortable with the idea of starting to put pawns on dark squares. I know they're not blocked or anything, but I'd rather play b5 than c5. Let's put it that way. But yeah, queen c2, queen c2, queen c2. I'm gonna play queen c2 because again, yeah, again I'm being very very slow, and there's no need to be impractical with my clock when I'm a pawn up and I have a pleasant position. I guess rook f8 makes a lot of sense, and then probably rook e2. And rook e2, rook e2. Or knight 4. Again, those ideas. Ah, the position is so good. I hate it. I hate having good positions. I need to decide on something. Is there any problem? Rook e2, rook fe1. Just I feel like d3 is weak, but so what should I be concerned with? I should be concerned with some e4 ideas, because now there's the intermediate takes on d3 that hits my queen, and my rook on e1 is sort of hanging, and if I put it on e2 is sort of hanging as well. So I guess I should be concerned with that. Not a big deal, I suppose. Oh, also the bishop is defended on b2. I can just take on e4. Yeah, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, let's go rook e2. Let's let's play fast. I'm being very impractical. Most rush with the subscription. Thanks, buddy. I'm gonna type in the chat that there are perks. Remember, there's a delay, so I'm gonna put also command title so you see that there's a delay, and I'm gonna say perk for sub one. So you know, for subscribing, and it's your first time subscribing, I appreciate the support, and yeah, for a subscription or $5 donation. That reminds me, the other day, two different people donated $10, so I should I should go tell them about the perks too. Anyway, for the subscription, you can choose between picking a subject for a stream, which is what most people do, or playing a match with me, which some people have done. Thanks. He has been watching your VODs. Great content. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Knight c8. Knight c8. Knight c8. So that's protecting the rook, but I think that's irrelevant. I think the knight wants to come to d6, but I'm not sure why. Maybe to support e4. I'm going to continue with my plan and see what my opponent does. Let's see. I'm not impressed. I mean, the knight wasn't great on b6. I agree with that, but it doesn't feel great on d6. My opponent has so many weaknesses. The knight was preventing, for example, on b6, the knight was preventing queen a4, and now I can go queen a4 and start targeting stuff. And my rook is defending b2, so if queen a4, let's say e4, I still can take on e4, I believe, although then c4 is hanging. Okay, so maybe queen a4 is too much. It's is it too much? Yeah, e4 seems annoying. But I'm down on time. I guess I can go like knight e4 and just keep everything under control. Keep it simple. I mean, if e4 is really annoying me, I don't think it should annoy me. So I can play f3, but I mean, yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it simple with knight e4, and I always have time to play queen a4 in the future. If play queen a4 here, e4. Let's calculate that line again. That pawn is pinned on e4. So and now takes on d3 wouldn't hit my queen. Still need to calculate because there's some promotion tricks, but the queen defends d1. So my point is, let's say e4, sorry, queen a4, e4. How about just take on g7? Because the pawn's still pinned. If takes, I have rook takes e7, and if d2, uh, I thought I had rook e1 to somewhere on the e file, but there's queen b1 check, so maybe I don't. Feels like the line I should be calculating, but again, short on time, I think I'm gonna be practical instead. Queen a4 is the move I want to play, but I'm gonna be practical. I'm gonna be practical, and also if takes, I can be super duper practical and take with the pawn. Taking with the rook seems good, but in the future f5 will happen. So yeah, I would take with the pawn and be super symmetrical. And it's funny how, well, if knight takes e4 happens, of course. My rook seem a little bit passive, but the funny thing is the pawn on e5, my opponent's pawn on e5 is suddenly blocking all of black's pieces. So I really would like to block that pawn. Yeah, this is a very practical approach. I like it. Because I'm a pawn up. I don't need to go into sharp business. Sharp business is exactly what my opponent needs. I'm gonna get more coffee. All right. Yay. I'm happy with that. Okay, I guess just bring rooks to the d file. Also, my bishop is a good bishop compared to my opponent's bishop. Any rook first. Let's put it on light square first, just in case. I don't see any problem with bishop h6, but yeah, there was bishop. If rook d2, there was bishop h6, maybe rook d3, simple, or rook d5, and if c6, rook d3. I don't think I want to encourage c6 though. I think if allowed, I want to play with b5 and a4 at some point. Yeah. Position is good. Good. if f5, I think I'll trade. Oh, g5. Okay, that's gonna make f5 harder now, right? g5. I'm 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 so surprised with that move. I don't know what is it about. So okay, I'm gonna. I mean, maybe after rook d2, he wants. My opponent wants bishop h6, but I don't. It feels too much. Like gave completely gave the d file away, and I always have, against bishop h6, I always have rook d3. So now I need to. My pieces are great. I need to keep improving them. I guess b5 now. Now that I'm given the chance, b5, and if Bob Sacamano says, Pepe, are you covering the World Senior Tournament? What do you mean? What's that tournament? Okay, I'm going to play b5. If c6, I can play a4, right? I don't need to. And if bishop h6, just rook d3, also covering the third rank. So yeah, these pawns don't seem particularly dangerous to me, but we'll see. But there they come. Okay. So let's think. Let's think. Now, a move I like is rook d5, but okay, the third rank was nice to defend. But I really like that move, rook d5. Especially if it forces something like f6, right? Should I be concerned about g3 or h3? In bullet, I will never be concerned about that. The usual plan is against g3, you take with one, push the other. In this case, I suppose I would do like that with the f pawn first. And if h3, g3, or nothing, yeah, I'm going to go rook d5. And if it forces f6, I'm happy with that. And maybe later if a4 is still there and bishop a3, or maybe the bishop goes to b4, same idea. But yeah, that rook is funny there right now. I guess after f6 is not. So, queen f6. Ah, well, that defense also, okay. And now g3 will come with more of a stronger tempo, let's put it that way. But yeah, again, if g3, I'll take and push. I should be doing quite all right. And hey, Karmar, what's up? Okay, yeah, let's continue with the plan. H3. Okay. So critical moment. I think I'm doing super fine, but let's not blunder here. So I can ignore it. Well, sort of ignore it. Let's say bishop a3, or queen e2, or queen d3. I can take it and then try to defend. My opponent's rooks are not coming to the g file soon, but rook e6 will happen, especially if bishop a3. So maybe I don't want to play bishop a3 because it helps him go rook e6 and later rook g6 after, let's say, queen h4 or queen g5 or queen f4. So the move I don't want to play is g3, obviously. Maybe queen e2. I mean, that's the simplest. Or takes and queen e2. The thing is, if my opponent ever takes, I will ignore it. unless he builds pressure on f2. But if I have f2 defended, I should be doing okay. I think I'm gonna play queen e2. I'm getting really low on time, and I need to start playing fast moves. Yeah. So I'm targeting this. My opponent has to do something about that, especially it's, would be a check. So I'm thinking queen g5, queen f4, or queen h4 makes sense. Now f3 is covered, so now I can even consider go g3 against, let's say, queen f4, g3, and if queen f3, I trade. So yeah, and against queen h4, also g3. Of course, need to be super careful. Wait, what? Well, I'm going to take this with check, and then we'll think. Okay. And now we think. I guess rook d8 makes sense. Or rook d1, rook d3, I mean. It's like a good position now. Like, I'm never going to take on g2. I like rook d8. Rook d8 is super concrete. Hello, Nick. Rook d8. Rook d7. So my opponent is trying to go rook g8, which no biggie anyway. I can wait for rook g8 to happen and then go rook d8. But then after rook e8, yeah. So if I go rook d8 first, what is my threat? Well, my threat is I'm putting my opponent in sort of a Zugzwang. I think that's my idea, because I don't really want to take, but yeah, okay, let's play. I need to play fast. I need to play fast. So let's go there already. I guess if rook e6, I have to take. If rook e6, I have to take. Bishop f4. Okay. Okay. Now rook d3 looks good. Rook d7 also looks good, right? Queen h5 also looks good, but I'm not sure what I'm achieving. Rook d7. Again, rook d7, I don't know what my threat is, because if I'm gonna take on e8 anyway, if he stays put, yeah. So let's go rook d3 or trade first. Rook d3, rook takes d8. And rook h3 can always be met with bishop h6. So even if it looks strong, it's not worth a rook. It's not worth sacrificing a rook. So I'm gonna do this and this. Well, my opponent is gonna take, so I could probably pre-move, but there's no reason to pre-move in this time control. And now if bishop goes back to h6 directly, I have rook g3, I suppose. Rook g8, rook h3, bishop h6. Queen h5, hitting this and that. Or bishop takes e5. Is bishop takes e5 a move here? Oh, that would be so beautiful if it works. I mean, queen h5 is strong enough, but Let me calculate because it's a beautiful move and I have to calculate it. Bishop takes e5. Well, if queen takes bishop, mate. If rook takes queen, I take the queen with a check. Oh, then king h7 defends the bishop. Oh, wait. Bishop takes e5, rook takes g4, rook takes h6 check. And the queen is pinned. So then, yes, then king g7, I have to take on f6 with the rook. And then after rook takes e4, I can move the bishop. I mean, it's beautiful, but I guess queen h5 is just simpler. It threatens to capture the queen and the bishop. Threatening to capture the queen is good. So bishop takes e5, rook takes g4, rook takes h6, king g7, rook takes f6, rook takes e4, rook f5 check, king g6. It's not my, yeah, I'm gonna go queen h5, just queen h5, just queen h5. I'm under a minute now. Let me make sure. Yeah, I mean the bishop is pinned. I don't see a defense for both. Yeah, I think I'm just grabbing the bishop. I hand queen takes f2, and it's forced. Oh my goodness. I hand that, right? Also, king h7 defends everything. So I'm thinking rook f3 now. Oh my god. Oh my god. Because the threat's still there. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god. Oof. I just feel like I got so lucky there. Like, it was killing me. It was killing me. Maybe I could try king f3 after g1 equals queen, but queen f1 then. Yeah, and if king e2, rook g2. And the bishop's still alive on h6. I'm sure I was totally checkmated there. Oh my god. Oh my, how did I miss that? I mean, the simplest move. Okay, now I think I'm doing fine. Rook g5 is probably the move here. Otherwise, I take on f7, right? Rook g5. I have queen takes f7, or I have rook takes f6, followed by. Oh, okay. So check. If king h8, I have bishop e5, so it's a no-brainer. And if rook g7, I'm expecting queen f5 to be a good move. Oh, I could also trade, and after king takes, bishop takes e5. Yeah. Oof. Oof. Oh my god, I got so lucky. Oh my god. Well played. Uh, I'm saying in the chat, I thought queen takes f2 instead of king h7. Let me go to the analysis board and show it. Yep. Computer analysis suggests it was forced mate. Queen takes f2. Oh my god. Where's the chat? Oh, am I? I don't know why I can't type on the spectator chat right now. Let me go back to our chat here. I can't anymore. If I go back to the game, no, this is not back to the game. So I guess I can't type on the spectators chat for some reason. Oof, I missed queen takes f2. I saw it as soon as I dropped my queen on h5. I was thinking bishop takes e5 instead, but queen h5 looks simpler. So let me check that moment precisely, and instead, oh, queen f5 was good, and bishop takes e5. Yeah, bishop takes e5 was good too. All right. Yeah. So let me turn the engine off for you. So the line I calculated was rook takes, and now importantly rook takes. Actually, let's check with the engine because bishop takes. Yeah, rook takes. Oh, bishop takes also wins, but he gets to defend the bishop. But I guess it's a horrible position for black anyway. So the engine's still happy about this. Uh, and this one check. Oh, the team battle started. The Liga. This rook takes e4 hitting the bishop. So there's no rook f4, for example. And here I thought queen rook f5 or rook e6. I suppose rook e6 because rook here, king here, and I need to go back and repeat. So this is always an uncomfortable situation. Of course, I can do bishop c3, and it's probably just best. Yeah, because then if it gets targeted, I can always defend it. In this case, actually, this would work. Yeah, so I guess I should just have calculated one more move and see that there's no problem after a move like bishop c3 here, I suppose. But instead I was like, oof, this is, I don't want this. And I thought queen h5 was completely winning when it's completely losing. Queen h5, threatening to get a free queen, threatening to get a free piece, hanging forced mate with queen takes f2. And now if king f3, I suppose queen f1. Actually, that's mate in one. Yeah, the bishop's still helping here. And if king e2, the rook comes, and I mean, this has to be mate. Queen b1, I suppose, or queen, yeah, queen b1. Yeah. This is gonna be mate. This is mate. So I blundered horribly. My opponent blundered horribly back. My opponent says didn't even cross my mind. Good game. Oh, there was a blunder in the opening too. What was this? Queen e2 was a blunder apparently. And knight c6 was a blunder because c6. Well, I guess the bishop will have to go to d3, but it doesn't feel like. Maybe my bishop gets trapped actually. The point is if bishop c4 there's b5, and if bishop d3, maybe after f5 my bishop is actually trapped because it's not so easy to get out of there. Maybe knight c1 and I still can get it out, but maybe I'm giving a lot of concessions to save my bishop. I can also move my queen, so the bishop has e2. I thought queen e3 would be winning a tempo, but maybe it's also problems for my queen there. So yeah, queen e2 blunder. And this is the graphic of this game. Wow. Okay, so I guess 56% accuracy. This is the top board in this league, guys. This is great quality chess here. Uh, 56% accurate, and my opponent 51%. Um, yeah, I mean, okay, there's some ups and downs. That's normal, but from plus 9.6, so from like plus 10 to mating 6 for my opponent to plus 8, and this was minus 3, so I guess I was losing the piece. Let me verify with the stockfish, because I'm curious. After c6, uh yeah, bishop d3, let's say, because bishop c4 b5, I can understand. Oh, e4. Oh, that's why the knight on c3 is pinned. I was losing the piece here. Oh my goodness. this is this is so embarrassing. So I hung a piece in the opening. I hung a mate in the end game, and my opponent just played well, I guess. I mean, of course, yeah, this is the thing with chess. Chess is tough. And what's more embarrassing, my opponent's mistakes or my mistakes? I think my mistakes are more embarrassing, because you have a good position and you blunder a piece. You have a good position, like a winning position, and you hang mate. To me, that's more embarrassing than, you know, my opponent being on the back foot and okay, having an opportunity and not seeing the opportunity. Uh, uh, okay, I'm gonna stop the stream because I really want to play the Bundesliga, and for that I need the stream to catch up, because if I stream it, I'm not gonna do it with delay. So I'll give this 15 minutes and maybe restart the stream, maybe not. But if I restart it, it's gonna be in real time. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you around. This was blunderful, blunderful.